The president got knowledge about what is happening in Saudi Arabia and the rest of the world in regard to drug trafficking by Ugandans. The president was surprised to learn that Ugandan Muslims who go to Saudi Arabia for Hajj and Umrah as a religious obligation and act end up in carrying drugs. The president was astonished to get knowledge that even non-Muslims have started now using Hijja as an umbrella for their evil motives. Dear brothers, the president described the situation as an embarrassment to the Uganda government and the government of Saudi Arabia. With the two countries, and yet the two countries have been enjoying excellent relations for so long.
Under the Office of Gender. We're here today at the conference center meeting with the community of Muslims and labor externalization companies. Others also are part of the tourism companies and their boards. I came yesterday from Saudi Arabia, but when I was there on my visit, I'd gone for an official visit. One of the things that came out very clearly, I must say, and it's very good news to Ugandans, especially those whose children are being displaced and arrested in Saudi. The government of Saudi has accepted to abandon to pardon Ugandans who are in Saudi Arabia, exception of those ones who committed crimes, except of those ones who took drugs, capital offense like drugs, those ones who have participated in murder, those ones there's no way you can negotiate for them. We are today here handling the issue of trafficking. Trafficking is being done. I give an example of a girl who left here like a few weeks ago. She left Uganda very clearly. When she reached Addis Ababa, she met a cartel of the drug traffickers and they gave her drugs to take to Saudi Arabia. She went with the drugs up to Riyadh. She went through the security, but as soon as she arrived at her hotel, the security came and picked her. And the law is very strong. So those are the categories of people that we as government are not able to even think about pardoning. We want to integrate the IMIS and the Museveni program. This is going to help us to cap down the issue of trafficking of human beings because we shall be integrated and we'll be able to monitor how many Ugandans are living here, and it's in the same system that is also working in Saudi Arabia. Issues of complaints, issues of accidents, everything will be captured there. But the most important thing I want to talk about this meeting today, there are people who are brainwashed when they're going for tourism. If you're going for Muslim prayer tourism or the Christian prayer tourism either in Rome, I give an example, if you're going to Israel or if you're going to Saudi Arabia, go when you're very, very conscious that you're going for prayers. The moment you meet a stranger and you end up getting yourself in the laws there is no pardoning, there is no negotiation. So the good news, Ugandans are going to be pardoned. Already we have started with the embassy of Saudi Arabia to collect all the information from today and tomorrow. We're collecting all the information because we have given each other, the government of Saudi Arabia, 60 days to handle all the issues. That we have agreed the commitments of Uganda on the issues of externalization of labor and the commitment of Saudi Arabia on issues of externalization of labor. But I'm very happy that the President, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda has taken up this issue very seriously, and that's why we are here. His office has called for a meeting so that we see how this device can be reduced. We stop losing Ugandans to this and also sensitize, because the people who are here are very, very important to our community. They're going to talk in their mosques, they're going to talk in their communities, in burials, in churches, to see how Ugandans are going to be supported and sensitized when they're leaving the country.
In Uganda, we faced a great menace of drug trafficking by our people or migrant workers. In 2014, Damulira Omar and Hamungobi were executed due to drug trafficking in China. And in 2022, more than 18 Ugandans were convicted and are still imprisoned in India. In October 2023, Kado Elias was convicted of drug trafficking at Hamad Airport in Qatar and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. This year, 2024, Miss Namusuo Fatuma was convicted with cocaine in Hamatoke at Dubai Airport, which her agent had given her to take to another person in Dubai, and was sentenced to 17 years in prison. Still last year in October, Kasumba Juma, a Ugandan, was convicted with more than 30 tablets of Njaga in his stomach at Jeddah Airport in Saudi Arabia and was sentenced to death. Lucky enough, he is still alive, though still in prison, as he continues to cry to different stakeholders to see that his life is saved and rescued from Saudi Arabia.
Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, mu bantu abayingiza enjaga mu Middle East, especially Saudi Arabia gyenkiikirira. Oba meeting eno oba lusoma luno tulimu olwaleero ebibiina bya security nga president bwe yagamba bigenda kubeera nga bisomesa abantu abatwala abantu ebweru n'okubabuulira obukodyo ensawo eyo togisitula bwe wasiiyo totwala njaga lwakuba kufuna ssente kubanga buli gwe bakwata n'enjaga mu nsi ezo bamujjako mutwe, especially ensi gyenkiikirira gyentuula Saudi Arabia. Buli lwe bakwata n'enjaga tewaba kuweewozaako kwonna wabula bakusomera etteeka mu Kulaani libagamba mu mutemeko omutwe era ne bakutemako, era abo bonna be bakwata situmanyi netugamba bugambi nti inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Tetulina kye tuyinza kuyamba omuntu yenna akwatibwa n'enjaga. Balinga 9 be bakakwata n'enjaga abagenda okuttibwa, ekyo sijja kyogera naye nga at least to 90% bayinza okuttibwa kubanga kyekibonerezo kyabwe kyebagabira omuntu yenna gwe bakuttira drugs.
Yes, as Uganda, we have weak laws. Our national drug policy needs to be changed because in accordance to where we always are convicted from in the diaspora, those people have very stringent laws. They always, for example, just execute or give you a death sentence or give you a sentence of very many years. But here in Uganda, when you're convicted, you just go to Rosira or Chitalia, whatsoever, where you will spend 7 or 5 years. Then you come back into the open, where you also recruit others into the vice. So we implore our government to revise the national drug policy to include stringent laws against the drug trafficking business.
The statistics cannot be ascertained right now, but by the time I was leaving the country, I'd already had a list of around 160 something people, but that's not enough. You can find those are just with a few prisons that are within Riyadh. But what about the rest which are outside there? And of course, we are going to continue as a ministry to go to other countries also to request for them to pardon Ugandans also in those other countries. It has come out very clearly in this meeting that one, the passport issue. It has come out very clearly there's a loophole in passport issuing. Even people who are non-Ugandans are being given passports. And these people, especially Nigerian nationals, they get passports in the cover of being Ugandans, and then they end up in those Middle East with the passport of Ugandan passport. So when they are arrested, they know they've arrested a Ugandan with drugs. So we want to see also as government to take this up. I think we'll call for a meeting and with internal security and also all other stakeholders that are involved in this, including the migration, that's in internal security, to see that this issue should be handled very, very carefully. We don't want people to continue playing around with our country. This is a sovereign country, and they should not come here because we have genuine and we are very kind to be able to abuse what we are doing for this country. Yeah. With being trafficked. People who live here using companies that are registered, that are licensed by the ministry, we are able to trace them, we are able to track them, including the embassy in Saudi Arabia. But people who go undercover outside, like the ones who go to Kenya and board from Kenya, when they get there, they get into issues. Now, someone has just mentioned, very interestingly, Ugandans go with some hubs, and when those bosses see them, for us it can be normal to have something to protect yourself. But for them, they think it is a drug. Why should you go to a foreign country with something that is foreign in your bag? So we need to sensitize the people that we have to stop this so that we can keep our name. I have an example. The minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia told me, if you put a Ugandan on the shelf and other migrants on the shelf, every customer, every employer will come and first pick the Ugandan migrant. Meaning, we have a standard, we have a quality that the people in the Middle East are seeing in us. And we want to restore that quality and that belief in us in terms of dignity and integrity that Ugandans are having. So people who end up being mistreated, they must be opposed. Now, as the Minister of Gender, we're also planning to structure the issue of coordinators in most of these countries. They should be employed. They should be employed. They should be given money so that they monitor, so that they supervise. If you leave people at large, even the employer knows nobody cares about them. So we want these monitors, these coordinators to help us to be able to work with the Ministry of Gender. We'll be monitoring our people together with the companies. I think something has to be done, a structural way of managing our people when they're not in the country. When they fall into issues, they should be guided. And when they're leaving the country, they should be given a contact of that country when they have issues. Because, like for example, Saudi Arabia, they should be having a contact of Saudi Arabia where they're being supported in terms of...
So our security should be alert, external labor powerhouse. We are there to work with the Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister of Labor, Minister of Foreign Affairs, to ensure that we correct things which are not going normally. I want to thank Ambassador Walusi. He is the only person who has cared in this sector. This sector was being undermined. There was a lot of negative publicity until we came out as external labor powerhouse to counter this. And I want you, Honorable Minister, to work with us. The experience I have, where I've been the leader of the workers in this country, we have tried our level best to see that we correct things which are wrong.
It is so absurd that many social figures, including artists and socialites, publicly traffic these drugs, including even advertising their shows via media, but without being censored or being questioned. So we implore the government through the security agencies to make sure that these people are censored or they are questioned, because this gives a very bad image and imitation by our younger people who also end up trafficking the drugs. Our government to intensify the public awareness against drug trafficking. Another thing, we implore our government to create more job opportunities for the public so that these people can get somewhere to earn survival from other than engaging in illicit things, for example, drug trafficking. We also implore our government to put in place a joint technical committee including all stakeholders in order to fight the menace of drug trafficking. But also, we want our government to designate a special fund in order to fight drug trafficking and its effects. Mr. Oluka Kenneth from FAUMA, Federation of All Uganda Migrant Workers Associations.